iMart Express, you'll save on glasses for classes. For $79, get 2 pairs with kid-safe polycarbonate lenses and a free 1-year frame warranty. Don't let the bell ring before you get a chance to save. A $200 value, all for $79.
It's one of the oldest rivalry in sports and where else but historic Lambeau Field. Expect some fireworks to fly when the Bears and Packers square off Sunday at 4 right here on Channel 2.
Sponsored in part by First National Bank Alaska and by Kendall Auto Alaska. Search Alaska's news source in your channel store to watch on demand. Watch live on Channel 2 and CBS 5 or take news and weather on the go with our free apps. However your day unfolds, Alaska's news source is there when you're ready to catch up.
iMart Express owns selection, price, and speed. Need single vision? Get 2 pairs starting under $40. Progressives, 2 pairs start under $80. Nobody beats us, guaranteed. iMart Express. Right classes, right price, right now.
Melissa Fry, your next mission is to show Alaskans how to personalize the Alaska's Weather Source app.
Sure, that's easy.
Start by customizing your favorite features like the current temperature map and earthquake tracker. Prepare for trips by checking road conditions and snowfall totals before getting behind the wheel. Activate location-based extreme weather notifications in the Settings tab.
Don't settle for the default. Download the Alaska's Weather Source app today.
You're watching KTUU TV Anchorage.
You're watching Alaska's news source.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us on this Thursday. It's the first cruise ship to arrive in Anchorage since the pandemic started. Anchorage's one and only cruise ship this season docked this morning. Holland America's New Amsterdam holds just over 2,100 passengers. It arrived in Anchorage at 11 a.m. and is set to depart at 8 this evening. Unfortunately, Aaron, that means they just barely missed that sun.
And not only the sunshine, but the rain. That is making a return to South Central. Now, if you want the sun, just hold on a few more days. We will see a beautiful weekend that's going to take shape across the region. As far as this afternoon, winds beginning to pick up. We've seen gusts up to 24 miles per hour. Current temperature holding at 53 degrees. The rain will arrive within the next hour or so for many across South Central. You can already begin to see that rain approaching western portions, or really northwestern portions of the Anchorage Bowl, out into the valley as well. And then as you head out towards Nikiski, Homer, even extreme southwestern portions of the Kenai, some light rain has already begun, and that's going to stay with us through the day. Not impressive when it comes to the rain itself, looking back off to the west, but we do have the Chugach Mountains that's going to interact with that system, and that uplift is going to help create those light rain showers as we head on through the day. So temperatures today staying in the 50s. We're going to see increasing rain. Anywhere from about 1/4 to 1/2 inch can be expected across South Central, with a chance for some sunshine into the weekend. I'll have those details coming up.
Now, the work has officially begun after Congresswoman Mary Peltola's swearing in. Wednesday was her first full day in office. Our Washington News Bureau reporter Peter Zampa tells us how it went.
Congresswoman Mary Peltola acknowledges the history of the office she now sits in. The Dean of the House once occupied this office. The late Don Young roamed Capitol Hill for 50 years. She recognizes the roots that Young laid down, but now it's her time.
My priority these 3 weeks is to focus on the work.
The first female to represent Alaska in the House, the first Alaska Native to ever serve Congress. Peltola is being thrown into the congressional fire. She's voting, she has new staff, and she now serves on the House Natural Resources Committee.
Making sure we can get as many wins for Alaska in as we possibly can.
Peltola has another election against the same opponents in just 8 weeks. In those 2 months, just 10 actual days of work here on Capitol Hill to make her mark.
It's really important that I'm able to prove that I have a very serious work ethic.
She says her initial legislative priorities include protecting fisheries and food security. Peltola also has an eye on Alaska's energy industry.
You're part of a caucus that includes folks trying to completely move away from fossil fuels. How do you approach that, given the importance of energy production to the state of Alaska?
Long term, we do need to make sure we're investing in renewable energy, but certainly everyone can agree that in the short term and medium term, we are going to be dependent on oil and gas.
You are a Democrat representing a conservative state. Does that put you in a difficult position as to how you handle your work here on Capitol Hill?
I think Alaskans are very pragmatic people, and I think both Democrats and Republicans understand that most of our issues are not partisan issues.
Her initial term officially ends on January 3rd, the day the next Congress is sworn in. In Washington, Peter Zampa, Alaska's news source.
Here in Anchorage, the Assembly rejected Mayor Dave Bronson's appointee for municipal attorney. Assembly members voted 8-4 in opposition of Mario Bird, with Jamie Allard, Randy Solt, Kevin Cross, and Pete Peterson voting to confirm. Bird is a practicing attorney in Anchorage who represented a group that sued the Assembly less than 2 years ago. The suit was filed over a decision to close the Assembly chambers to the public for a period of time during the thick of the pandemic when the municipality was trying to limit large gathering sizes. The Anchorage School Board Finance Committee met to continue searching for a solution for the $68 million budget deficit the district faces. Solutions such as shutting down schools and cutting certain programs were all laid out as options. Officials also discussed a remodeling of how money is allocated throughout the district instead of just cut. Jim Anderson, the district's chief financial officer, said he wants the budget process to be as transparent as possible, including getting feedback from those working with students. Anderson met with ASD principals asking for their input on areas that could use less or more funding. Anderson says areas that are successful might be receiving more money as he works to create a budget that will create the most success for students. Anderson mentioned during the meeting we should expect discussions to start in October on which schools could face closures or merges. He said ASD should have a balanced budget by February. Family members of a bicyclist suffering with life-threatening injuries after he was hit by a car last week are still searching for answers as police continue to search for the person who hit him. Lexi Alverton spoke with the family about the struggles they're now facing.
Lawrence Carl was bicycling to work on the morning of September 9th. He made it to the corner of 5th and Gamble, and then it happened.
He was a block away from work when a four-door, either white or silver sedan struck him, leaving him on the side of the road, and did not call for assistance.
People passing by contacted emergency services. Carl was brought to the Alaska Native Medical Center, but for most of the day, his family was unaware that he had been injured. They received a call from the hospital later that night.
We know that he has a broken hip. He's currently sedated in a coma. He has a fractured spine, a fractured neck, and I believe a fractured head with a concussion.
His family was told Wednesday that Carl now has pneumonia. He's currently being treated for that, along with life-threatening injuries. Just over a year ago, Lawrence Carl relocated his family to Anchorage from Kipnuk due to the disability services needed for his wife and son. His wife is not able to work.
My family has disabilities, and Lawrence, is the sole provider that cared for his family, and now I'm having to worry along with my cousin, how are they going to be able to support themselves during this tragic time?
Now with Lawrence Carl and Joanne Carl both out of work, she says she set up a GoFundMe to raise money for the first 6 months of Carl's recovery.
Because it's so mentally traumatizing for the entire family. They're going through a difficult time with trying to put it all together.
Carl's family is also hoping someone with information about the hit-and-run driver will call the police. A photo released by the Anchorage Police Department shows the car they believe hit Carl. Still, no one has come forward.
I would hope that this person would find it within their heart to hold themselves accountable for their actions and step forward and turn yourself in. I guess my big question is, if it were you or one of your family members and somebody struck them and left the scene, how would that make you feel?
Lynette Clemens hopes the picture of the vehicle is shared and that people keep an eye out for the vehicle. And she hopes people will be willing to help her cousin and his family as he struggles to recover. Lexi Alverton, Alaska's news source.
And you can find that GoFundMe by searching the Family of Lawrence Carl Expense Fund. If you have any information on the incident, contact Police Dispatch at 311. Still ahead, postpartum can be a dark place for some families. How a local organization is working to help those families climb out of the darkness with a walk this weekend.
Lane throws a baby shower.
She doesn't deserve a baby shower. She deserves Rosemary's baby.
Jerry gets a blast from his past.
You thought you could never bump into me again, but you were wrong.
And when Kramer makes the hookup,
I'm not getting illegal cable.
It's not illegal.
It's against the law.
Well, yeah.
Jerry's going down.
We're with the FBI.
Go, Jerry! On the next,
What have you done to my little cable boy?
Seinfeld.
Watch Seinfeld after Alaska's news source at noon. All day, every day, news is happening, and Alaska's news source is there. With live reports as breaking stories unfold, in-depth reports and coverage you'll only find here, and statewide forecasts with weather you can plan for. Join the most experienced news team in the state on Alaska's news source at 6 p.m. Brought to you in part by Matanuska Valley Federal Credit Union, putting members first since 1948.
Holy Rosary Academy is a place where faith and reason meet in the pursuit of excellence.
I love to read.
We're educating children according to the classical model of education and the teachings of the Catholic Church.
My favorite subject is math.
Our curriculum imparts a love of discovery and cultivates hearts and minds towards lifelong learning. Enrollment is open now. Holy Rosary Academy.
Looking to start your career in television and multimedia? From entry-level to experienced, if you or someone you know is interested in applying for a job at Channel 2 and CBS 5, visit alaskasnewssource.com and click on About Us.
Time now for a look at some events happening around town. In the weekend planner this week, the Arc of Anchorage is bringing back another year of Trunk or Treat. It's their fall fundraiser. It's this Saturday, September 17th from 5 to 8 p.m. at the Arc of Anchorage campus. The event is open to the public, providing a safe, inclusive environment for kids of all ages. Also on Saturday, it's the Tears Foundation's 10th annual Rock and Walk at Cuddy Park. Kids under 12 are free. For all others, registration is $10. It's from noon to 3 p.m. The Tears Foundation builds awareness about pregnancy and infant loss. And a walk to raise awareness for maternal mental health. It's the Climb Out of the Darkness Walk and fundraiser put on by the Alaska chapter of Postpartum Support International. It's this Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Goose Lake Shelter in Anchorage. Join them for a friendly gathering to share stories, build community, and a 1-mile paved walk. And here to tell us more about it is PSI AK board member Allison Coos-Fox. Thanks for being here, Allison. First, tell us about PSI AK and the Alaska chapter.
Yeah, thank you for having me. So we are the Alaska chapter of Postpartum Support International, which is a well-established organization working internationally to address the mental health needs of new families. And we established ourselves in 2017, and we have been working to raise funds and raise awareness and raise trainings for providers in Anchorage and all over Alaska to offer services to families that need it.
Allison, about how many families in Alaska struggle with postpartum, and why is it important to promote awareness about it?
Yeah, so postpartum is a really difficult time, and it actually really extends to pregnancy, and it's not only moms that are affected by the difficult season of adding to your family or experiencing a loss. Dads are also affected. Nationally, the numbers are around 1 in 8 mothers or birthing parents will struggle with mood and challenges after giving birth, and about 1 in 10 dads. In Alaska, according to the PRAM study, it looks like it's more like 1 in 4, 1 in 5. We have a lot of risk factors for that. We have a large military population, and that comes with some risk factors of being separated from your partner, of not having familial support close by. We also have, a lot of ACEs. We have a lot of trauma in our community, and that can be a risk factor as well. So in Alaska, it can hit a little bit harder than it does in other areas of the country.
Now, what's your hope for this weekend's event?
My hope for this weekend's event is that, we get together for a fun event. This is a pretty heavy topic, and it is certainly one that has been close to a lot of people's hearts, particularly the last few years. It's been a really hard time for parents. But we have live music. A local band, Folk Medicine, is going to be playing there. And we usually have a really good time. We stand up, we tell stories, we have some crafts. We usually have a bubble machine. The kids can run around. And then we have a really accessible walk to, get a little bit of movement and get a chance to chat with one another and connect.
It sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. Thanks again, Allison, for joining us. In case you missed it, here's all of that information again on your screen. Once again, that's this Saturday, September 17th from 11 to 1 p.m. at the Goose Lake Shelter. Coming up, not getting enough sleep can cause more health problems than you think. We'll share some tips for falling and staying asleep.
Rain building back into South Central this afternoon. We have some sunshine into the weekend. High winds through the Aleutians in western Alaska. I'll have those details. But first, the sunset this evening, 8:20, 12 hours and 53 minutes of daylight.
This was a coordinated attack. I'd like to combine forces and work this case together.
Arms, drugs, sex trafficking. If what you're saying is true, it's beyond comprehension.
Looks like we're going for a ride.
We need to win.
There's more to the story.
They're building up to something. We keep fighting.
Together.
When I look into your eyes, it's like watching the night sky or a beautiful sunrise. Oh, there's so much they hold.
It's hard to imagine that this powerful, beautiful animal needs our help. But they are being killed for their skin and bones, and their homes are being destroyed. But there is hope. Tigers are at the heart of so many delicate ecosystems. When you protect a tiger, you also protect thousands of species and people that rely on the same habitat. That means protecting everything from mangroves that help fight climate change to safeguarding rivers and streams that provide fresh water to millions. All places that the tiger calls home.
Well, I won't give up. God knows I'm tough.
When we protect tigers, we all benefit. Learn how you can make a difference. Visit worldwildlife.org/tigers.
You're watching Alaska's Weather Source.
Well, we saw some much-needed dry time yesterday. We're certainly still sitting on the dry side for parts of South Central this afternoon. However, that is set to change. Already seeing some rain building back in from the west. Wet September will continue. By nightfall, likely seeing over 3 inches of rainfall for the month. On average, we typically end September at 3.10 inches, and I do believe we're sitting at 2.93 as of this morning. Weekend outlook shows that we're going to see more sunshine as drier weather returns. And speaking of the rain, we're currently sitting at the 9th wettest on record. All we need is 8.38 inches of rain or liquid precip to propel us past 1989, which is currently the wettest year on record. Temperatures today staying in the low to mid 50s. Rain already beginning to build in across South Central. Of course, most of that rain is going to hold off until after about 12 to 1 p.m. for many areas across across the region. So already seeing it really approaching Parks Highway and then out towards southwestern portions of the Kenai and then back out towards southwest Alaska, also seeing some rain showers. So that is storm number 1. Storm number 2 is bringing some hurricane force wind warnings out towards the Aleutians Aleutians, high wind warnings as you head across the western coastline, coastal flood watches, as well as warnings. And this is all from the remnants of Typhoon Merbok. Those hurricane force wind warnings could bring gusts up to 90 miles per hour. So this is the current system that we're seeing here that's bringing us some breezy conditions and building rain chances across south central. And then there is the high winds and the remnants of Typhoon Merbok. As it moves its way into the Bering, it is going to re-intensify as it pulls in or ingests some of that colder air from Russia, and that's going to help it strengthen, and why we also have those high wind watches extending out towards western Alaska. Thanks to this ridge of high pressure that is steering this back into the state, so we are going to see some chance for some rain showers lingering into the weekend, but our better shot of rain stays with us for today. So we've got increasing rain chances, the heaviest out towards the Gulf of Alaska. As that exits overnight, we're going to dry out through Friday. There is the remnants of Typhoon Merbok. Most of it will impact the northwest Arctic borough as well as the Seward Peninsula, but we could see some passing showers here for your Friday as well as Saturday before we see some sunshine make a return to the region. 53 in Kotzebue today, 52 in Bethel. Thanks to those gusty winds out towards the Aleutians, we're easily going to see those temperatures warm into the 60s today. And you also want to watch out for those winds, which could gust up to 90 miles per hour across the west coast, seeing the high tide or the water itself seeing 4 to 8 feet above high tide. So some low-lying flooding looking possible. Up to 3/10 of an inch of rain across portions of southeast, drying out over the next several days. South central, anywhere from 1/4 to 1/2 an inch of rain with temperatures warming into the 50s. Likely seeing up to an inch for portions of Prince William Sound, while the Copper River Basin just sees breezy conditions and maybe some light drizzle. Temperatures warming into the mid-50s through the valley. Anchorage, a high of 55 with some breezy winds, 53 degrees in Girdwood. Kristen, if you enjoyed yesterday with that sunshine, hold on, because as the weekend approaches, more sunshine arrives.
All right, thanks, Aaron. After the break, about 70 million Americans suffer from chronic sleep problems.
I think it's a bigger problem than folks realize.
We'll let you know about some common mistakes you may be making, keeping you from getting a good night's rest.
You're thinking about replacing the windows and doors in your home. But first, you want to know, what's it going to cost? Today, I'm here with Sarah from Renewal by Andersen.
Getting a price from us is easy. Make an appointment, and then we'll come out to your home, do an inspection inside and out. And then you pick your styles, your colors. It's really fun. And we give you a price that's good for an entire year.
Wow, no pressure. I bet people love that. And replacing just a patio door can make a big difference?
A huge difference, absolutely. Andersen builds their patio doors to help eliminate drafts and easily open and close in any weather.
They're really beautiful, too. How about the security of your doors?
A lot of break-ins happen through patio doors, so we take it very seriously. Choose one of our gliding doors, and you won't need that wooden stick anymore. And some of our hinge patio doors have a 5-point locking system.
Wow, that's great. And now, what about your warranty?
We have the nation's best warranty. It covers your windows, doors, and the installation. Some companies won't cover all three.
Do you guys do anything other than windows and doors?
We don't. Other companies do roofing, siding, windows. But what's that saying? Jack of all trades, master of none?
Yeah.
Our expertise is windows and patio doors. And we have the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies.
Wow, that's really impressive. And you're a local company.
That's right. We live here, we raise our kids here, and if we run into you at the grocery store, we're not going to run the other way because we're really proud of the products that we sold you.
Before September 30th, save 20% on windows and save 20% on patio doors. And our Smart Pay program can help make this project more affordable. There's no money down, no payments, and no interest for 2 years. Call before September 30th. 331-6888. That's 331-6888.
Not getting enough sleep can take its toll on your health, but one expert says many of the tactics people use to fall asleep are doing more harm than good. Mandy Gaither has more on the things you can do every day to help you get better sleep at night.
Catching those Z's. Sometimes it's easier said than done.
Without a good night's sleep, it can affect both our mental and our physical health.
Between 2018 to 2021, Dr. Anissa Dawes says there was a 29% increase in referrals to the Center for Insomnia at Ohio State's Wexner Medical Center.
I think it's a bigger problem than folks realize.
Dawes says some common tactics may not be helping. First, going to bed early may leave you tossing and turning. Climb in only when you're ready to sleep. Also, get up about the same time every day.
Don't sleep in for 3 hours on the weekend, because then we're giving ourselves what we call social jet lag. It's no different from flying from New York to California for the weekend and then giving ourselves jet lag when we come back. So trying to be really consistent to keep that circadian clock in line.
After the sun sets, Dawes says try to decrease artificial light exposure from TVs, smartphones, or other screens. But when the sun's up, get as much natural light as possible to help with sleep rhythms. Exercise is also key to helping you feel sleepy at night. It can also help reduce stress, another factor that causes lack of sleep. 2 things to avoid: large fatty meals late before bed. That kind of food can keep you up. And alcohol may help you nod off, but Dawes says it also leads to fragmented sleep. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The doctor says keeping your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet can also help create a serene environment perfect for sleep. If you're having difficulty falling asleep or staying asleep and it lasts for several months, she says talk to your primary care doctor to see if a treatment may be right for you or if there are any changes you can make to help you better sleep. The World Health Organization says the end of the pandemic is in sight. Speaking at a news briefing in Geneva Wednesday, the WHO's Director General cautioned there is still a risk of more variants, deaths, disruption, and uncertainty, but he said the world is in its best position to date to end the pandemic. The WHO says there were just under 11,000 COVID deaths reported between September 5th and 11th. That's a 22% decrease from the week before. Aside from a few weeks this past May and June, the only other time weekly deaths were this low was during March 2020, the first month of the pandemic. Still ahead, if you're interested in making some cold, hard cash while watching cold-blooded killers, this next story is for you.
Nights on Start TV. Great dramas featuring fearless women proven to shock, awe, and entertain. Channel 2.3.
Mary Peltola is running for Congress to represent us. From a small Yupik fishing village on the Kuskokwim River. 5 terms as a state legislator from Bethel. 8 years as chair of the bipartisan Bush Caucus, delivering on development in Alaska. Proud Coast Guard mom. Fishing boat captain at age 14. And the only candidate who will protect our privacy rights and the freedom to choose.
I'm Mary Peltola, and I approve this message.
Runaway inflation is crushing Alaskans. From filling up the truck to fueling the boat to feeding your family. We are all paying more and getting less. As your senator, I voted to stop trillions in wasteful spending and led the charge to expand Alaskan energy production in order to lower gas prices, build a stronger economy, and put more money back into your pocket.
Lisa Murkowski is for hardworking Alaskans, always.
I'm Lisa Murkowski, and I approve this message.
My skin, but better. Everyone wants it.
This does it. True Match Nude Tinted Serum. 1% hyaluronic acid in a foundation. Feels like second skin. Naturally radiant. True Match Tinted Serum from L'Oreal Paris.
We're worth it.
Holy Rosary Academy is a place where faith and reason meet in the pursuit of excellence.
I love to read.
We're educating children according to the classical model of education and the teachings of the Catholic Church.
My favorite subject is math.
Our curriculum imparts a love of discovery and cultivates hearts and minds towards lifelong learning. Enrollment is open now. Holy Rosary Academy.
Now you could earn a little cash by pumping your adrenaline this Halloween.
Yeah, the Dish satellite TV service is looking for someone to watch 13 films based on Stephen King novels. And whoever is selected will get $1,300 or $100 per movie, but it's not totally free money. You'll have to track your heart rate and jump scares and answer a few questions about which flicks you liked best.
You have to be 18, but aside from that, the qualifications are pretty casual. You can check it out on usdish.com. I think I could do that. I love scary movies.
Well, one thing I love about Stephen King movies, if you ever watch them, every single Stephen King movie he makes, what do you call it, that term? He makes an appearance.
Oh, like a cameo.
Cameo, there we go. He is in
yeah.
every single one of his movies. And it's always fun to spot him out, find out where he is in the show.
I'll have to look for that. Well, first I have to know what he looks like. I know his movies, I love his movies, but I'll have to see a picture of him first.
Well, still holding on to some PM rain showers for your Thursday, really beginning to build in as we speak. Temperatures holding in the mid to upper 50s over the next few days. We'll see the remnants of Typhoon Merbok bring some high winds through the Aleutians, some coastal flooding, seas through the Bering up to 55 feet. Then you can see into the weekend. We do dry out, maybe some passing showers Saturday, but some sunshine returns, highs push 60. Enjoy it because, like we've been talking about for what seems like forever, more rain next week.
Of course. Well, that's it for us here for your news at noon. Thanks for joining us. Be sure to join us back here for CBS 5 News at 4. Have a great day.
Summer's here, y'all. Spend it with the Kelly Clarkson Show. Oh, hello. The stars. Hello. The fun.
That girl is poison.
And me. I'll be there too. It's Summer on Kelly.
Yes, Kelly, and cheers to you.
Weekdays at 3 here on Channel 2.